Ellen Donaldson, I'm so honored to have you with me today. The effect that our short sessions had on my life and the fact that I every single morning use your grounding exercise, it's been profound, and so I'm excited to bring you to my audience.
Fabulous. Well, I'm glad to be here.
Well, so first, Ellen, you're an energy healer.
I'm an energy healing practitioner.
Energy healing practitioner. Sorry.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
So that means that I am working with people's energy, helping them evolve their energy, clear their energy so that they can let go and release and evolve and move on from a variety of things, whether it be physical or emotional, and oftentimes both.
Mm-hmm.
So I practice what I call mind body energy medicine in my practice.
That definitely clocks.
Yeah, I thought it might.
Audience is very sophisticated, and so they don't need to be bought in or sold into any of this. But why is it important, out of all the things we're meant to attend to with our health, that we attend to our energy?
It's our energy that precedes everything. So whether we're aware of it or not, we've all got an energy body. And that energy body is made up of chakras and an aura. And even if you don't know what those terms mean, it's okay. I'm going to cover that a little bit here today. But the most important thing that I want people to understand is if they've got an issue like anxiety or depression or overwhelm or what have you, your audience is full of busy professional people with hectic schedules and high-powered CEO types and business owners, and when I see those kinds of folks in my practice, I often start with educating them on where their energy is dysregulated, so that they can learn to regulate their energy and resolve things like constant anxiety and overwhelm and busy brain and not being able to sleep at night because their brains don't turn off.
How does your energy work? I think most of my listeners will think of regulation in terms of nervous system regulation.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just talk a little bit about how it all flows together?
How it all fits together.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep this really short and sweet. I could talk an awful lot about the chakras and the aura. I'm not going to do that because we have limited time. But what I want people to understand is that their energy body is an integrated system of chakras and an aura that are working together all day, every day to give you the experience that is you. So whether you're talking about your experience of your physicality or your experience of your emotions, your energy is involved in that. So let's do a little term definition here. Most people, I think, have heard of the word chakra these days. You've been to a yoga class and your yoga instructor is talking about your chakras. For those who don't know, it's a Sanskrit word that means wheel or spinning disc. And so when I start to talk about chakras, I talk about these energy centers that we've all got that are rotating vortexes of energy that pull energy in and release spent energy out. So your chakras are doing that all day, every day. And that's the energy that allows you to do and be you. So when I talk about energy dysregulation, I'm talking about chakras that aren't quite doing what they're supposed to do. Chakras have different roles and functions within the energy system. And they also have a an optimal opening or setting on them that allows, like some chakras are supposed to let a lot of energy in and release a lot of energy. Other chakras are supposed to be much more closed down. So sometimes I will see chakras that are supposed to be closed that are wide open, and some chakras that are supposed to be wide open are closed down. So we're going to talk a lot about that because it's really relevant. So the prop that I use in my client education process, and I'm sure you've probably seen this too, is my vegetable steamer. So you probably have one of these in your kitchen. You put it in a pot, you open the veggie steamer, you put the broccoli in, you steam the broccoli. This is very much like what a chakra looks like and functions like. So I find it really helpful to get people's imagination and their sort of mental picture of what the heck are my chakras doing? What do you want me to do with it, Ellen? So we're going to be talking about that as we go through a guided meditation. So what I would like to do is teach people about their feet chakras, about their second chakra, and about the process of grounding their energy. So
let's
that
do
sound
it.
good?
Yes.
Let's do
and
it.
before we do it, I just want to say to the audience that probably like a lot of you, I often feel overwhelmed, and I'm a caregiver to many, many people in my life and pets. And when I first saw Ellen, it was her assessment, which of course is so true, that I was way too open in the
In
chakra.
some areas.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That is directly related to sort of my relational body and my caregiving. And so if I learned nothing else from you, learning that and how to open and close that has been so profound. So that's just another vote. So yeah, I'm yours. Let's get started.
Okay. So we'll start with the feet chakras. So I just want you to imagine that you've got feet chakras in the arches of your feet. So if you can just bring your awareness to the arches of your feet and imagine that the chakras are pointing down towards the earth. And the function of the feet chakras is to bring in lots of earth energy to run your energy field, and also to enable you to let go of whatever you need to let go of, to release your spent stuff, what have you. So the thing that I see a lot with my clients is feet chakras that are closed up really, really tightly. And so I will teach them to open their feet chakras. So I'm going to use my veggie steamer prop. So if we talk about a chakra that's really tightly closed, this is what it looks like. If we talk about a chakra that's really wide open, this is what it looks like. Okay. So the feet chakras ideally should be set at about 60% open. Okay. So if this is about 50, you want to set them to about 60%. So what I do is I tell people literally to imagine that they've got the veggie steamers stuck to the bottoms of their feet, and to bring their awareness to what their feet chakras are doing and to open their feet chakras. And I tell them to just pay attention, drop in, notice how they feel. And what I hear often is, oh, okay, my energy just dropped a little bit. I feel like I can breathe a little bit more deeply. Maybe people are feeling things traveling down their legs and kind of feeling the energy release out. So this is a really common place where people have dysregulated energy. So if you're all up in your head all the time, if you're really anxious, if you feel overwhelmed a lot, if you are stuck in some way and can't quite let go, you're going to have feet chakras that closed up like this. So that's the first thing. The second is the second chakra, which is what you were talking about earlier. That is located just below the navel. So if you find your belly button and you go a couple inches below your navel, your second chakra is there, and it's pointing out toward the horizon. So the ideal setting on this chakra should be about 25%. Okay, so I'll show you what that looks like. It's about like that. Okay, it's pretty closed, because second chakra is all about your emotional awareness. So yes, it's about your creativity and it's about how you experience your sexuality. But in my world and the work that I do with my clients, it's about experiencing your emotions. And the word "your" is the most important word in that sentence. Because what I often see are second chakras that look like this.
Yeah.
And remember what I said earlier about chakras acting like little vacuums? They're always taking in energy and spitting energy back out again. If you're walking around with wide open second chakra, you are inadvertently pulling in energy that doesn't belong to you. So what that does is create a sense of overwhelm, of emotional flooding. It's why sometimes it's really uncomfortable for people when they walk into a room full of a big group of people, or they go into a big box store and they're sort of, all of a sudden really overwhelmed. It's because their second chakra is too open and
Yeah.
they're being flooded.
Yeah. Hmm.
The other thing which you mentioned, which I talk about all the time with my clients, is the caretaker pattern, the people pleaser pattern. And people will use their second chakra, again, unconsciously, because we're not taught about our energy body. They'll use their second chakra to sense outside of themselves and sense into other people so that they know how to take care of them. So, once or twice here or there is not a big deal, but when it's a pattern and you are drawing in other people's energy, holding it as your own and feeling it as if it's your own, that's a big deal. That adds up over time. That can actually start to create symptoms, physical symptoms in your body. A lot of people have digestive issues. So by regulating the second chakra, you can back down that tendency to caretake, to take on stuff that's not yours to hold. And the other quick thing that I want to say about energy is that it's a frequency. So what happens with frequencies? We have resonances. So like will resonate with like. So if you're someone who runs a lot of anxiety, you've got a lot of the anxiety frequency hanging out in your field, and you've got a wide open second chakra, guess what? You're now resonating with all the other anxiety that's out
I
there.
don't know anything
And
about that, Ellen.
neither do I. so it's a way of understanding, oh my God, why do I feel so amped up right now? Why is my anxiety getting worse over time? It's, well, you've been collecting this stuff for years and years and years. So starting to reverse that paradigm by regulating your second chakra is a really big deal for a lot of people. So far, so good?
Good.
Okay. So the third and final skill that I want to teach
And
is
just to be quick,
grounding.
just to close that chakra to 20%. 20,
25%.
sorry, 5.
Yep.
We see the wheel, the veggie steamer, right below our navel, looking towards the horizon. We close that aperture.
Yep, exactly. So when I walk you through the guided meditation here in just a minute, we'll use that analogy. So what you're doing is just in your mind's eye saying, no, sweet pea, I need you at 25%. Thank you. So grounding. We ground from our first chakra, which is at the base of the spine in men and between the ovaries in women. And whether you have ovaries or not, it doesn't matter. The energy centers are there. So what we're doing when we ground is we are refreshing our connection to the earth. It's like our umbilical cord with this big, beautiful planet that we all live on that supports us to have life. And so it can be useful to work with, to refresh your grounding cord throughout the day, because what it does is, when we have monkey mind and we're, planning 5 years down the road and we're, doing all of that, we've kind of left the present moment. And it can be really useful to bring yourself back to current time awareness. And we do that by gathering a ball of bright green earth energy in the first chakra, expanding it out to as wide as the hips are, and then dropping that down to the center of the earth. And it only takes a second or two. None of these skills takes very long after you've practiced them. So dropping the ball of green earth energy. And then we do a couple of extra things. We attach little strands of energy from the sciatic nerves on the backs of the legs and tuck them into the grounding cord to step down the nervous system. We also, for women, there's an extra step where we attach little strands of energy from the ovaries and uterus and tuck those into the grounding cord, because it helps women back down their need for perfectionism and to their tendency to caretake others. So again, I talk about that all the time. So any questions about any of that? Because I think I'm ready to step into the guided meditation to walk you through it. And so your listeners can follow along too and practice at home.
Ellen, you're going to now walk us through a short guided meditation so that we can practice setting our chakras appropriately and grounding our energy. So take it away.
Fabulous. Okay. So what I like to have people do is they can either do this standing or seated comfortably, wherever you are. Just make sure your feet are flat on the floor and your arms and legs are uncrossed. And just close your eyes. Take a breath. Just take a moment and bring your awareness inward. Just take a moment to notice how you feel. And then take your awareness to your feet chakras in the arches of your feet. And using the analogy of the vegetable steamer, imagine that you've got veggie steamers stuck to the bottoms of both your feet, pointing down towards the earth. And if you sense that your feet chakras are a little too closed, go ahead and open the petals on the vegetable steamers. So open up your feet chakras to 60%. And then just notice any internal shifts that you feel. Now bring your awareness to your second chakra, just below the navel. And imagine that chakra pointing out to the horizon. And imagine you've got your veggie steamer stuck to your tummy. And if your sense is that your second chakra is too open or is wide open, close the petals on your second chakra down to 25%. Just begin to feel yourself get a little space from you and perhaps other people. A little bit of space from those big go-to emotions that you experience on the regular. And perhaps feel a little calmer. And lastly, we're going to ground. So bring your awareness to your first chakra, again at the base of the spine in men and between the ovaries in women. And just imagine that you can gather a ball of bright green earth energy in your first chakra, kind of like the color of a ripe kiwi. And expand it out to as wide as your hips are. And then drop the ball of energy from your first chakra down to the center of the earth. Just feel yourself anchoring in. Maybe your physical body drops a little bit and you feel anchored. Now tuck little strands of energy from the sciatic nerves on the backs of your legs. Tuck them into the grounding cord. And feel your nervous system stepping down. And if you're a female with ovaries and a uterus, imagine tucking little strands of energy from those energy centers into your grounding cord as well. And that helps back down your need to be perfect and to caretake others. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring yourself back.
Thank you, Ellen.
You are welcome.
And ideally, would we do that every day, once a day, more?
Yeah, so what I encourage people to do when they're learning to regulate their energy, think about how long it takes to incorporate new habits. It takes a little while, so you got to practice it a bit. So I tell people to practice it 5-10 times a day. That's not too much. Um, and I also suggest that they tie it to something that they do regularly. So before you get out of bed in the morning, before your feet hit the floor, open your feet chakras, close your second chakra, and ground. Anytime you sit down to a meal, do it. Anytime you're in the bathroom, I'm in the bathroom a lot, so I do my energy regulation there too. But at work, if you tend to get amped up by your boss and you have regular meetings with them that make you nervous, do your energy regulation before you go to the meeting. Or in any kind of situation, let's say you've got to give a presentation, set your energy, drop into yourself, and then go give the presentation. So the other analogy that I like to use is regarding regulating your chakras is it's very much like training a puppy to be housebroken, to not pee in the house. So what do? You get the puppy and you have to take it outside over and over and over again until the dog says, "Excuse me, I'm at the door. I got to go out because I got to do my business." So it's that kind of over and over and over again, because what you're actually doing is you're retraining your energy, but you're building new neural pathways within your body and your brain too. So it takes a little while, but it doesn't take forever. And eventually, your energy will start doing something different and you'll have a different experience. Make sense?
Yes, and I'll say from experience, you get to a place where you can sort of do it very quickly,
Very
right?
quickly.
So you
Very
can
quickly.
summon the visual. I mean, I think that one of the things, I just want to leave the audience with is that, especially those of us who work remote and come onto Zooms, the energy that we start the meeting with is so important. And the fact that we run from Zoom to Zoom to Zoom, we just don't have enough breaks during the day. We're so much more fully scheduled, and this is a fact, than before the pandemic, means that if we start frazzled, we stay frazzled because we don't have
Mm-hmm.
breaks.
Yeah.
And so, and my colleague Megan Raitz writes about this in her work on spaciousness. The simple act of taking a beat intentionally before you start, grounding, whatever
It's
helps
really
you,
critical.
it's
Yeah.
so critical.
And it's so helpful in, um, you're just not as exhausted at the end of the day when you're able to give yourself just a little breather to reset. It's so important. So before you jump on each Zoom call, set your energy body.
And you're more powerful. It's not just about like, oh, I'm so frazzled. It's really, I'm powerful because I'm present and I'm really in the
Exactly.
right place.
Yep. Yep.
So,
You're connected to yourself. You're connected to your brilliance. You're connected to your creativity. You're connected to all your skills that you want to bring to your job. And you can do that through a regulated energy body. Yeah. Good point.
I think that's a great place to leave it.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Ellen. Where can people find you? And also, if they're not in the Boston area and they are interested in this, seeing someone, is there a directory? Is there a website they could look at?
So I work both in person in my office in Melrose, and I work remotely. So I've got clients all over the country, and overseas as well. Um, so I can be found at starleafwellness.com. And in fact, if people are interested in downloading their own guided meditation, similar to what we did here today, I've got a landing page on my website that they can go to. It's starleafwellness.com/Mora -interview/. So I don't know if we can put that in the
I've
recording
never
or
had
not.
my own landing page before, Ellen.
You have your own
That
landing page,
is
baby.
definitely exciting. Okay, so we will definitely promote that. Ellen, thanks
Cool.
again.
Cool. You're welcome. Great to
Thank
see you.
you.